now.
If it is battle you want, you will have it.
Would you care to step outside?
Begin.
Learning a new fighting game can be a daunting task. With games in the genre getting more advanced, players are required to learn new mechanics as well as mastering the wide variety of characters these games have to offer. In this series of pure basics, we hope to provide a beginner's guide to the heroes and villains of Injustice 2. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the last son of Krypton, Superman. Known on Krypton as Kal-El, he was but a newborn when his world was destroyed. Saved by his parents, he eventually wound up on Earth. There, a kindly couple, named the Kents, found him in Kansas. They raised him until eventually he decided to become Superman. When they found him, they gave him the name Clark Joseph Kent, and decided to treat him as their own son. He had a pretty normal life growing up until the point where he became Superman, one of Earth's most powerful and respected superheroes. Thanks to his Kryptonian cells, he is able to absorb and store vast amounts of solar energy from the Earth's sun. This basically supercharges him and gives him his powers, far beyond any Earth-born metahuman. This gives him incredible amounts of strength, invulnerability, and the ability to fly. This has led some to say that he is the most powerful being on Earth, even to the point where he can go toe-to-toe with gods such as Darkseid. In Injustice, however, things take a turn for the worst. As while Superman may be invincible, his mind is not. Joker was able to trick him and basically tip him over the edge, turning him into a dictator of a totalitarian society. While Superman's heart might be in the right place, wanting to extinguish all evil, his methods are incredibly questionable. But anyway, let's get into the moves and abilities available to Superman. Of course, he has his standard wall bounce, done with back 3, as well as his overhead, done with forward and 3. He also comes with your standard jump mechanics, which jump in 1, jump in 2, and jump in 3 respectively. He also has the ability to air dash if you press forward or back while jumping. He also has his standard grab, which is done with 1 and 3. But moving away from the basics and taking a look at his special moves. His first is Heat Vision, which is done by down back 1. This utilises Superman's eye lasers to cover a long distance. The eye lasers are also in a strange arc, making it sometimes difficult for opponents to avoid. You can also perform this while airborne, if so desired, and you can even meter burn it, if you so wish. This will cause a second follow-up hit that counts as an overhead. Superman's next special move is Lockdown Launch, which is done by pressing down forward 1. This launches your opponent into the air, to be then followed up with a second hit that hits them away. You can also meter burn this if you so desire, which will simply fling your opponent into the air. You can then follow it up if you so desire for an extended combo. His next special move is Super Breath, which is done by pressing down back 2. With Superman's Icy Breath, he knocks his opponent away. You can meter burn this if you want, and doing so will cause the Super Breath to freeze your opponent in place. This is a key move for his longer string combos, so get used to using Super Breath meter burn. His next special move is Rise and Grab, which is done by pressing down forward 2. This initially is an anti-air, so you can catch opponents jumping at you. However, you can do this special move mid-combo for it to land. Or easier would be to simply uppercut an opponent. You can meter burn this if you so desire to lift them even further into the air, dealing more damage. A nice trick with Raise and Grab is that you can follow it up with your Eyes Laser, so it would look like this. This applies to the meter burn version of Eye Laser as well. And if you're really feeling greedy and want to spend multiple bars, you can even meter burn both special moves, which will look like this. His next special move is Flying Smash, which is done while airborne. All you do is press down and 3 to initiate it. This hits your opponent for an overhead, and if you so desire, can be meter burned. Meter burning it will cause Superman to grab his opponent, go back up in the air, and fling them down to the ground for a second hit. You can also, if you want, hold the opposite direction while meter burning to throw them the opposite way. His next special move is Flying Punch, which is done with back forward 3. This is a nice ability that is good as a wake up, but it is risky. You can also meter burn this version to make it less risky, as the Flying Punch is followed up with additional hits. These additional hits also count as overheads, which help out a lot. His next special move is Heat Zap, which is done with down back 3. This is pretty much similar to Heat Vision, but is a straightforward laser. Now moving on to his basic combos. The first one is Great Purge, which is done by pressing 111. This is a standard combo that can be followed up with special moves at the end of it. His next combo is Kryptonite Bash, which is done with 1-1-2. Again, this is a basic combo that finishes with an overhead, which comes in handy against crouching opponents. His next combo is the Last Sun, which is done with 2-2-3. This is another combo that follows up with a slight bounce, but you have little time to follow it up with other moves unless you're in the corner. His next combo is Truth, which is done by back 2, then 1. His next combo is Solitude Slam, which is done again with back 2, then 3. This is a rare combo that can actually be meter burned, allowing you to continue for a longer combo. His next combo is Justice, which is done with forward 2, down 1, 3. An unusual combo that has an overhead in it. And his final basic combo, and one that you have to get used to using, is Champion of the Oppressed, which is done with forward 1, 3. This is a fairly slow combo, but it's kind of safe on block, and it also launches your opponent into the air where you can follow it up with special moves. And next we have Superman's character power or trait, which is Kryptonian Strength. This is done by simply pressing 4. Basically, Superman calls in more solar power from the sun, gaining a red aura around his body. It will give him the ability to break armor properties that your opponent may have, for example an armored wall bounce. This buff won't last forever though, and will quickly wear off. However, you can cancel combos into your Kryptonian Strength, which makes it very handy. But anyway, moving into some basic combos that I like to use with Superman. First, some meterless basic combos. His first basic combo would be forward 2-3, pause a bit, forward 2-3, and then follow it up with rise and grab, after which perform your air heat vision. Next one would be jump in 2, forward 2-3, back 2-1. Now moving on to some combos that utilise Superman's meter. Some of these will also utilise his trait, Kryptonian Strength. First one would be forward 2-3, then Super Breath, which is down back 2, meter burn it, wall bounce, jump in 2, back 2, then 1. An alternative, especially if you want to utilise the character trait, would be to jump in with 2, forward 2-3, cancel into your Kryptonian Strength, which is 4, forward 2-3 again, Super Breath, which is down back 2, meter burn, wall bounce, which is back and 3, jump in with 2, 2-2, then your raise and grab, which is down forward 2, and then air laser down back 1. Anyway, moving away from the centre and focusing on some corner combos with Superman. Firstly, some meterless ones. I like to use these ones personally. First, I would jump in with 2, then 2-2-3, then down 2. The timing on this is a little bit tricky. Then 1-1, then down forward 1 for that lockdown launch. A meter burn version of this corner combo could be as follows. You jump in with 2, 2-2-3, down 2, again the timing can be tricky, then back 2, 3, then meter burn, then forward 2, and then do your rise and grab, which is down forward 2, and your air heat vision, which is down back 1. Now the strongest corner combo that I could do with Superman in the corner is as follows. First of all, you jump in with 2, then you go forward 2, 3, cancel into your trait, which is 4, then forward 2, 3, Super Breath, which is down back 2, meter burn it, overhead, which is forward and 3, 2-2, and then rise and grab, heat vision combo. You can of course meter burn again the rise and grab and heat vision for even more damage. Another example of a stronger corner combo would be jump in 2, forward 2, 3, cancel into trait, which is 4, forward 2, 3 again, then your Super Breath, which is down back 2, meter burn, overhead, which is forward and 3, then uppercut, which is down and 2, then back 2, and then finish off with 1. You can, of course, as well skip out the Super Breath in order to bounce cancel during the middle of a combo. This can potentially lead to more damage, but it's trickier to pull off. But if you are able to do it, it would look something like this. The one I like to use is jump in again with 2, then forward 2, 3, cancel into trait, forward 2, 3 again, bounce, cancel, now that's the hardest point, jump in, 2, 2, 2, rise and grab, then air heat vision. Both of these two also can be meter burned for more damage if you so wish. Now finally, Superman's super move is called the Final Flight, and it's done by pressing flip stance and meter burn. This is a mid attack, so it's best done mid combo. After it's activated, Superman will fling his victim into the air and proceed to pummel them as they move through the sky. Now overall, Superman is a very strong character. His combo strings aren't that long or complex when compared to some of the characters in the roster, but nonetheless each hit hits hard. Get used to using forward 2, 3, which is Champion of the Oppressed move. This is pretty much key. Also when you're playing against Superman, always look out for this. Superman is another definition of a balanced character. He has an incredibly strong zoning game thanks to his eye laser abilities, but is also devastating up close thanks to his sheer strength. Also, his air dash gives him great mobility to either keep away from his opponents or close the distance on them. He is definitely a character with very few flaws. So anyway, I hope this guide has given you a better understanding of Superman. As well as helping you, these guides are also helping us in understanding the various characters of Injustice 2. Of course, there are much more advanced guides out there, and I encourage you that if you enjoy Superman, to go and check them out. And until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you another pure basics guide to Superman in Injustice 2. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.